Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala. Welcome to Saint of the Day. Today is October the 1st. In 1873, in Lisieux, France, a little baby girl was born. Her parents named her Theresa. Her parents were very devout Catholics and had already had two other daughters before Theresa. Theresa was baptized and raised in a very devout Catholic household. When her older sisters reached the age of 17, they each joined a convent. It was a cloistered convent that you would enter and then you would never leave the grounds. Well, a few years later, young Theresa was old enough to join, and she did. She joined in 1890. Now, she only lived for 7 more years. But in those 7 years, in the town of Lisieux, in the cloistered convent, this young lady opened her heart to the Lord so wide and opened herself to God's grace by such an amount that she was literally able to change the church. Her devotion to the Blessed Sacrament, her accepting God every day of her life, her offering herself in everything she said and everything she did to the Lord, was so powerful that the other nuns in the convent began to recognize that this was someone very special. She was encouraged to write, and she wrote a book called The Story of Her Soul, Her Journey to God. And mind you, this journey is just a few steps from her cloistered room to her workplace, or a few steps to the chapel where she prayed before the Blessed Sacrament and received Eucharist at Mass. Her journey in earthly times was very tiny. Her journey in spiritual times was immense. That book was published, and it sold all over the world. The Story of the Soul moved many people to attend Eucharistic devotion and open themselves to the Lord as Theresa had. It impressed the Pope. It impressed the Pope so much that he wanted the nuns to release Theresa from the cloister to make a visit to Rome. He wanted to meet her, but unfortunately, young Theresa in 1897 passed away of consumption. That book was so important to the church that not only was Theresa made a saint, she was made a doctor of the church. And a doctor of the church is someone who's a saint and, through that person's teachings or writings, transformed the church in a very positive way. And so Theresa is given the title Doctor of the Church. And at St. Malachy, we have a beautiful stained glass window dedicated to St. Theresa of Lisieux. And finally, I have to tell you, St. Theresa of Lisieux was my mother's favorite saint.